This is SQPN, the StarQuest Production Network, leading the way.
You're listening to Catholic Weekend, episode number 208 for the week ending Saturday, January 25th, 2014. Hello, I'm Captain Jeff. I'm in Roswell, Georgia, and joining me today, a whole bunch of people. Let's start off with this one from Oklahoma. Steve Nelson.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here again.
Come sweeping
Great to have you with us. And from deep in the heart of Texas, Miss Angela Cialana.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. And from our nation's capital, from his something of tranquility. I always forget what that is.
No.
And Billy Newton.
Good morning from the Fortress of Solitude.
That's it. Fortress of Solitude. You can tell I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
I am a big fan of yours, but okay. Well, anyway.
You lost it.
I know. I'll just give up. And from the plains of Buckhead in the heart of Atlanta, Sarah Fabulous.
Good morning, everybody. Always a pleasure.
Good morning. And let's see. Here's our special music. Tom Pringle in Orlando, Florida.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. And our special guest this morning, Deacon Tom Gottschall from Alpharetta, Georgia. Say hello, Deacon. Okay. Never mind. Don't say a thing.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, there you
There we go.
He's just so mesmerized with that singing that he just
Wow.
doesn't know what to say.
Hey.
Okay, well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Catholic Weekend.
Oh, it just took me back.
Took you back where? Obviously, we have a...
No, it took me back, not back. No,
Oh.
some of the other music took me back. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, anyway, Deacon Tom is the deacon, or one of the deacons, at the parish in which I became a Catholic back in... Well, this all started in 1999, and we came into the church in the Jubilee year, 2000, and... Were you... No, you weren't a deacon at that point, were you?
No, I wasn't a deacon. In fact, it was during that year, probably one of the lectures that you heard me give, where our pastor at the time, Father Paul Reynolds, God rest his soul, had asked me to consider being a deacon. So that was probably one tidbit that you may or may not have remembered or known, Jeff. But that's when it happened. That's when the fall happened. How about that?
Okay, very good. And then Tom and I have worked for, you've headed up the RCIA program at St. Andrew for many years now, and we've worked together on that, or in that ministry at St. Andrew for quite some time. And
That's right.
So anyway, so he's a good friend of mine, and Tom is going to, he has a blog that he started, a couple blogs actually, and he's thinking about starting up a podcast and perhaps even a video podcast. So we've been working together to kind of, come up with all the, work out all the details and everything regarding that. So we're going to have you back on in another show, Deacon Tom, when that's all up and being broadcast.
Thanks. It'll be a real joy.
Excellent. So just kind of hang in there with the rest of us here. We're going to talk about, well, who knows really what we're going to talk about here on today's show. So what we usually start with here is talking about what's happened in the past week with everybody on the panel. So who would like to start? Hello? Is that me?
No, I think that was for Billy.
Okay.
You never know what live
start with Billy.
podcasting.
Billy, How was your week?
Oh, poor Billy. He's not even here to defend himself.
It's okay. We're gonna. You know what, Billy? How are you today?
Well,
Well, okay.
I-
I was reading your blog, and you were talking about Teresa Tomeo came into town and
yes.
spoke at the Catholic Information Center and was promoting her book, God's Bucket List. Tell us a little bit about that.
She's awesome, and first of all, I should ask those of the listeners may not necessarily pick up on a difference, but some of us regulars got some shiny new toys to play with for this podcast, and so I want to make sure that my levels are fine with Jeff before I speak anymore.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm turning you up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, Teresa Tomeo was covering the March for Life on Wednesday for EWTN, and then on Thursday she came to the Catholic Information Center, which if you've not been there before, when you've visited DC, it's about a block from the White House, and it's a great bookstore. They have a chapel, they have daily mass and confessions, but it's also a great place for events, and there are a number of Catholic authors, speakers, etc., who will come there to speak. And so she has a new book out. I believe this is her 6th book, called God's Bucket List, and I've made that my pick of the week, but we'll talk about that later. And it was really interesting because, unfortunately, very few people came, even though obviously she's very well known. I mean, she hosts a daily call-in show on Ave Maria and EWTN Radio. She's got a weekly television show with Astrid Gutierrez and a couple of other women, the Catholic View from Women, very well known in Catholic circles. But I think because it's about -10 here, and everyone was so worn out from the March for Life, there were probably maybe 7 people that showed up, and so we got a lot of attention, which was pretty awesome. And it's a really interesting book, and I'll talk a little bit more about the book when we get to the picks of the week. But I really appreciated listening to her take on how we should be engaging with the media as Catholics. And for people who aren't familiar with her, Teresa was a secular journalist for a long time. She was an investigative reporter and a writer and editor until she sort of started coming back into the church, and then found her way into Catholic media. And she talked about how around the time that she was coming back into the church, the media stopped being interested in the kind of investigative, in-depth reporting that she was doing, and she was reporting more on traffic accidents and weather and celebrity scandals, and she thought, this is not what I went to journalism school for. I went to journalism school to study how to write a good story, how to present a good story, and the media just seemed to be getting further and further away from it, not checking on sources, using sort of schlocky material. And in her final job before she switched over to Catholic media full-time, she was a news director for a big radio station in Detroit, and she was only doing 2 minutes of news an hour, and everything else was just fluff. And she's like, it's time for me to go. But what I really liked about what she had to say was pointing out that it's kind of easy, to quote The Simpsons, as we often do on this network. It's easy to criticize and fun too, but the media so often gets it wrong that she thinks it's our responsibility to constantly engage them, to criticize when it's necessary, but also to praise them when they get it right. And unfortunately, the way the state of the media is right now, we're going to have to keep doing it. And so whether it's misreporting something that Pope Francis says, or what's going on right now with the HHS mandate, yay, Little Sisters, woohoo. There are a lot of stories that are not being reported correctly, and while it's always a good thing for Catholics to point out, you're wrong about this, or you need to fix that a little bit, we should also, when they get it right, make a point of saying, oh, you did a good job there, thank you very much, because that actually keeps them engaged. Because she says, right now, I don't think the secular media knows what to make of us. So that was a particularly interesting point.
Well, I think you saw that. I mean, with the coverage of the March for Life, I mean, or the lack thereof. It was weird, though, because the local news here in Oklahoma reported on the March for Life in Washington, but I didn't see it on any of the national news.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I have to
Fox
say,
News and CNN covered it.
I thought there was more this year. I thought there was a lot more national coverage this year than there. I mean, comparatively.
I must have missed it
then. Before.
They actually had something in USA Today the following day. They did. It was actually one of the items on the front page. It wasn't a huge splash on the front page. It was on the left column, and I was surprised to see that.
Washington Post
Well,
covered
Teresa
it.
made that point too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she said, you know, if there was an annual event where hundreds of thousands of people showed up and the media continued to ignore it, as they have done, like, wouldn't you be sort of suspicious of their motives after a while? And she's like, but I think that because of, frankly, new media and people kind of getting around them and being able to find their stories from other sources, that more of them are like, hey, maybe we need to actually start paying attention to this now, particularly with more states passing more pro-life laws and this being an election issue in so many places, Texas, for example, with the governor's race. So, yeah. So I don't know. It's not great, but at least there's more coverage than there was.
Oh, that's good to hear. I must have missed it then.
Well, you're in Oklahoma, and I'm not sure that all the news is getting.
They don't get news there.
Well, yeah, we're about a year behind.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys even have television there?
They pass cuneiform tablets around. I mean, it's, you know, cylinders of Hammurabi and things.
People. I know I opened that door, but you didn't all have to walk through it.
I'm sorry. Help ourselves.
Everyone's got jokes.
Yeah. Well, so that's great. Let's see. Anybody else want to talk about what happened to them this? Hey, how about Tom Pringle there? Tom and I finally met at the CNMC last. When was it? October.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it's already been that many months since the CNMC. It just seems like yesterday to me. Of course, most everything seems like yesterday.
Well, don't you forget everything?
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, Tom, you're normally down in St. Petersburg, right? That area?
Yeah, the Tampa area. But I usually come home on the weekends to see Grandma and hang out with Mom and Dad. So.
Okay. Well, remind everybody again what you're involved with: stewardship and communication.
Yeah, I work at a parish down in the Diocese of St. Petersburg. I'm in charge of the stewardship and communications for the parish. So that's kind of what I've been doing all week. We had a reception this Tuesday for our parishioners for meeting our bishop's appeal goal. So.
How's that going? Are you meeting the goal?
Yeah, we actually went over. So.
Oh, excellent.
It was good.
Wow.
We had some ice cream, and it was 30 degrees.
I mean, I was down in Florida. I was in Melbourne, and it wasn't as cold, obviously, as it is up here in Atlanta and north, but it was still kind of chilly for Florida.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Crazy weather.
I'm still freezing.
So speaking of crazy weather, I saw that parts of Texas and Louisiana and Mississippi were getting like an ice storm or something. Were you you affected by that, Angela?
Well, yes. We thought we were going to get snow. My grandma claims that she had snow, but it's so horrible for me to say.
That's
Yesterday
a big
was
deal.
her birthday too. I feel so bad. Anyways, forget that I said that. Yeah. So we had ice storm, sleet. Ice was everywhere, and when that happens down here, it's just like school is canceled. You know, employers are like, just stay home or come in like afternoon, or it's basically we all just kind of break down and we don't know what to do because they're just not equipped for super cold weather. So that's the way it's been down here.
Do they do the same thing there and get the bread and milk, or do they get some other items that are more popular at the grocery store?
Well, we just decided to stay home and kind of survive on what we had here. So I didn't try to venture out to the grocery store, but
I hear there's
sure.
always a big run on Slim Jims when the weather.
Tortillas.
Oh, we make those at home, Jeff.
I love homemade tortillas.
Yeah. Even like at our grocery stores, we have women in the grocery store making tortillas. So we don't get them like
the best.
store
They
like
use those,
from
like,
some kind of factory or anything.
Those really cool tortilla machine things.
Yeah, I guess so. Like the conveyor belt type of thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like circular, and they kind of fall down into different levels, and they get squished and cooked.
Oh,
No.
The best ones are
No,
when they
no,
do
no.
them by hand, you know.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. These
Those
are
are the
these are
best.
handmade, but they're just heated like on a machine. So.
Oh,
Give me
okay.
some corn tortillas like that. Oh, it's the best.
Yum. I'm getting hungry. Okay.
Everybody, we're gonna go have lunch with Angela today.
Yeah. Gonna make us her homemade tortillas, and
Jeff can supply the plane tickets or the plane.
I'll just borrow one. They're not using it.
I'll drive you to the airport, Jeff.
So, Deacon Tom, how about yourself? What's been going on with you this past week?
Well, it's interesting what other Tom Pringle had said, talking about stewardship and the Diocesan Annual Appeal. Well, we're in Atlanta getting ready to kick off the next year's Archdiocesan Annual Appeal, and I had attended a meeting with our parish, several of our parish representatives, for how to have a successful annual appeal, and we too at our parish had exceeded our goal from last year, and there's some incentives which are really great, and so our pastor had shared what some of those incentives are, and it got the stewardship council pretty fired up about it, and now that they have a better understanding of how to conduct the annual appeal, it was a very good training session they hold in Atlanta, and they showed some statistics that the parishes that worked the plan as indicated in the training, the percentages of those parishes meeting the goal go way up, and so we're very excited about that, and just helping our parish make stewardship a way of life, which is a bit of a cliche, but still worth repeating again.
Well, you talk about incentives, Tom. Would one of those be like a 3-night, 4-day cruise or something like that? No?
No, they didn't mention anything about that. No, it was a lot more bland, like maybe we get to repave our parking lot or something.
Well, that's not very exciting.
No, not
I was gonna say,
not but
George
except that when we get it done, and then we don't have to worry about potholes. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or how about, here's some ideas. I'm thinking of some incentives like a little pass, like a little card for like Holy Days of Obligation, and kind of give you a pass in case you are busy doing something else.
We don't want another reformation, Jeff.
Yeah.
So let's just not go there.
Just let the clergy start another scandal. Yep, just tee me right up.
Heresy week 2.
Oh, that's right. Our heresy episode was last week. I'm sorry. I guess.
And I'm holding a coffee cup that Captain Jeff gave me, and I'm bitterly disappointed that I can't do the video part, but I'll show it to you another time. It shows a picture of a bunch of religious sisters with rifles, and Jeff made this coffee mug just for me, so I'll have to show it one time.
Scandalous.
Coffee cup that's you're bitterly disappointed to show. Is that an intended pun?
I think so. Well, as anybody can attest, when you meet me, you are bitterly disappointed. So, Sarah, how about yourself? What have you been doing this past week?
I'm kind of boring, so not much.
Well, then how about what something that's not boring? How about something that you're planning to do today after the show?
Oh, well, I did. Well, I guess I had one of my home brews. It was ready on Wednesday, and I drank it on Thursday, and it was lovely. So I had brewed a brown sugar oatmeal stout, which is my Laud's breakfast stout. Get it? Yeah. So it was all right. I know I can make some changes on the recipe for next time, but today I'm gonna brew a bourbon double. So I'm pretty stoked for this beer. So it's going to be a Belgian-style double that I'm going to add bourbon-soaked oak chips into.
Yum.
Yum.
So your totes scoped.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Billy's
Well, it's not
microphone's
just for
not
breakfast
working.
anymore, you know.
Billy.
But yeah, so I think I have to bottle today too. Actually, I made a Mexican hot chocolate stout 2 weeks ago, and I have to bottle that today. So it's a chocolate stout that I threw a chili pepper into, so it's gonna be spicy.
It's not going to be long before the ATF is going to come and inspect your production.
Hey, listen, if I only do about a gallon a week, that I still am way under levels of what's legal. So I think you get like 500 gallons a year or something, so I'm good.
I'll have you know that in Atlanta, in Georgia actually, I was part of the group that was responsible for getting prohibition repealed for homebrewing. And I know you're laughing, but it's true.
It wasn't that long ago that this happened.
It was called the group that I was a member of was called the Covert Hops Society, and the reason why we're called the Covert Hops Society is because we were homebrewers in Georgia brewing illegally, and we couldn't have any official sanctioned competitions or anything. And we worked for many, many years lobbying the legislature here in Georgia, as many other states were doing at the same time, to repeal, even though prohibition was repealed federally back in what? How long ago? It was a long time ago.
1918.
Was it that long ago?
Or was it, no, 1920s.
Yeah, it was
right?
the 19. Yeah, because 1918 is when
In
it
the 20s.
started. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, whatever. It was repealed long time ago, but states still had prohibitions against home brewing, making your own wine and your own beer and that kind of thing. And of course, in most states, I think all states, you know, what do you call the spirits are still,
Yeah.
You know, prohibited from making. But anyway, we were able to get finally the legislature here in Georgia to approve home brewing, but we had to limit it to a very, very small quantity. I think it was like a total of 5 gallons per year. And 5 gallons, as Sarah knows, and many people out there listening who are homebrewers, that's usually a standard homebrew batch is 5 gallons. But we understood that nobody was going to be putting taps or, you know, like devices on our brewing equipment to see how much we're actually brewing per year, but it was just enough to let us actually hold official home brewing sanctions and that kind of thing. So you're welcome, Sarah.
Yeah.
How Catholic of you.
Did you know that Covert Hops is still a thing?
No, I didn't know that. I was
Yeah.
actually the newsletter editor for like 3 years.
Oh, nice. It's still an active group here, actually. So.
Early days. Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be covert anymore, but it still is, huh?
Correct. Yeah.
Should be the Overt Hop Society.
Jeez.
Really?
So Alabama was the last holdout for homebrewing, and they finally legalized it last year. So now all 50 states have legalized homebrew.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, well, that was probably a lot more involved than anybody wanted to hear. But too bad. Okay. Let's see. Steve, did we hear about what was going on in Tulsa last week?
You know, it was a quiet week here as well, except for the roller coaster of the weather. It usually happens this time of year, but we went from 65 one day to 3 the next day to 55 the next day. So, and it's heading your way. So enjoy it when it gets there.
Oh, I meant to tell you, Sarah, and anybody who cares listening at this moment, that I had an interesting beer at my hotel in Baltimore, and let's see, it's Duclaw Brewing.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
And you ready for the name of this?
Yep.
Sweet Baby Jesus.
Oh yeah. It's a peanut butter porter.
Peanut butter porter.
Yeah.
Peanut. Actually, I think I had the peanut. Yeah, it was a peanut butter porter, and it's amazing to me. I don't know how they managed to get the actual flavor of peanut butter in a beer. It was like drinking a Reese's peanut butter cup. It was good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds really rich.
Yeah, it was. But, you know, it's a porter, so it wasn't quite as heavy as a stout, but it was still... By the way, did you know that... oh, never mind.
And we're back to beer.
Anyways, it's a good beer, and Friar Matt Foley keeps telling me he's going to send me a bottle, but he has yet to do that.
Yeah, I had it on tap at the hotel, and it was just marvelous.
Yeah, I heard it's great. So yeah, peanut butter beers are hard to make because of the oils from the peanuts. It can kill the head retention, but they're good if you can find one. So.
Speaking of beer,
yes, sir.
I'm really looking forward to trivia night tonight at our local high school because it will have a lot of beer there. So.
At high school. Wow, Oklahoma really is.
It's a Catholic high school.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that explains it.
Except the students aren't allowed to attend.
Oh, okay.
So is it a benefit? Oh, so it's a benefit for the school. Tell us more about it, Steve.
Well, they've been doing this for a number of years, and each year one of the graduating classes comes back to run it, and there'll be about 1,400 people there, and they'll be competing by tables of 10 people, and it becomes a real community competition because people will recruit all year long to bring people, the right people onto their team and all that kind of stuff. So, and they do a great job of running it. They completely fill 2 gymnasiums with tables of people, and you get some people that are real competitive, and then you get the other people that are there just for the beer. So.
I'll be in the latter category, I think.
I've always been on good teams.
Are they all religious questions, or is it just a mixed bag of questions?
Oh yeah, it's a mixed bag, and that's why you try to recruit people that are good with pop culture or history or sports.
That's the key to winning those things. If you go to those bars that have the trivia things, and if you're in a group of people that everybody has their own kind of area of expertise, you can be pretty successful. I'm going to stop now.
Pub quiz team for 2 years, and we won almost every single night. So.
Wow.
So were you like the art and architecture expert, or what?
Yep. It was 3 guys that I knew from Oxford, and one was a political science guy who ended up going into their equivalent of the State Department. Another was a postdoc in genetics or something like that, so he was kind of the science and math guy, and then the other guy was a journalist, so kind of knew everything. So yeah, and it was great because you got money off your bar tab.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
I love trivia games because I don't know, my brain just seems to store away random bits of knowledge that I only get to use on things like this.
Right.
So.
No, it's too bad.
Like
This would be
weekend.
this would be a great trivia team. Like our little group here, we should definitely do that next time.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that'd be great.
Next
CNMC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I don't know if you guys heard about this or not, but I'm wondering if it's some kind of a sign from God. The lightning breaking off the finger of the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro.
2 fingers.
2 fingers.
It got struck twice.
Wow.
Yep.
So that might even be more of a sign right there.
What are the chances of that?
I don't know.
Lightning striking twice.
I hope it didn't.
That's true.
I hope it didn't just leave his middle finger or something.
No.
Oh,
That would be really a bad sign.
Yeah. No, it broke off part of his thumb and one of his fingers, and then a big bit of the back of his head exploded. So.
Wow.
Gosh.
Sorry, I mentioned it now. and I'd like to make a note here. I was not the one that talked about the middle finger. It was Steve. That's amazing.
What I think is even more scary that maybe it's the end of the world is that have you seen about this new island in Japan?
No.
That's okay. Go look this up. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, about 3 months ago, this volcano erupted off the coast of Japan, and it created this little island. And everyone said, "Oh, isn't this interesting? It'll wash away." Blah blah blah. Well, now it's 300 times larger than it was a couple of months ago, and it has swallowed the next island. So that it is now this one ginormous. Yeah, exactly. So Japan is now increasing in size and increasing in seacoast because obviously they can claim all the land around it, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. There's this gigantic, and it's still growing. Like there's still more volcanoes coming up and making more land and. Yeah, exactly. So, end of the world, people. Get ready.
Wow, it said something about in this article that it actually could help Japan claim some of the islands that North Korea or Korea is claiming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Wow.
That should
because
be
they're
fun.
closer now. So yeah,
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, there's going to be a problem with that.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
Oh.
I'm always saying
Science.
that Jesus might come tomorrow, so
That's
just
true.
got to be ready for it.
He could
That,
come
you know,
during this
He
show.
might come later today.
He could come
yeah.
during this show, and I think everyone would be very relieved if he did.
You know, that would be a good topic for like a homily or something.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we live our lives every day as if it were the last. I wonder
Absolutely.
if there'd be some kind of a.
Like a clergyman that you could suggest that to.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Hey, you know, I'll tell you what's interesting, and I think probably a lot of guys get this is that in a lot of sacristies this is as funny as all the humor that you have, but it's a reminder to our priests. Priest of God, pray this mass as if it were your first mass. Pray this mass as if it were your last mass. Pray this mass as if it were your only mass.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what's cool is I've had a chance to speak those words to priests at their very first mass, and man, what an emotional moment that is.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, I'm enjoying all this talk about beer. I didn't realize I was joining a beer club. So this is a real treat. while I'm drinking some stiff coffee,
Well, I mean, that's what we're drinking too, of course.
Or water. I'm
Tom,
not a big coffee drinker.
We have had shows where we've pushed the show from the morning to the afternoon, early evening, and in that particular case,
happy hour show.
we were enjoying.
Oh,
yeah, and in fact, we should probably do a Catholic Weekend Happy Hour show sometime.
We should.
Oh, I'll host.
Yeah, do it. Bring on
Is this-
Jeff Young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matt
in fact,
Barron,
do it
all the homebrewers.
the week of Mardi Gras and Ash Wednesday. That would be fun.
We'll plan on that.
super.
Pencil that in on the calendar.
It's like a couple weeks away. So.
You got to make sure
Because
Maria's
remember, it's-
there.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, Maria's been too busy having beverages with Lisa and Pat up in Boston.
In Boston. Yeah.
So, yeah.
What is it? The Time Lord Diva and the Popus.
Oh, right. Right. And Popus. Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably listening right now. It's too early. They're probably still sleeping it off.
Yeah.
Or they're restarting. It's brunch.
Bloody Marys!
Yay!
Brunch.
Yeah, drunch as Billy likes to call it.
So Tom Pringle, you need to stop talking because you're just
Yeah, I
monopolizing.
know.
Tom, hey Tom, do you want to tell everybody what you were drinking on New Year's Eve?
No.
Arbor Mist, everybody.
Okay, so I go to the store to get some champagne, and they didn't have any. So I was like, well, might as well just get some Arbor Mist, something else.
Because that's what my
Because that's
logical
the next
conclusion
best
would be.
thing.
Is that the stuff in the box?
No.
No.
It's
Actually, the
worse
stuff
than
in the
that.
box is not bad.
Yeah.
Comparative.
The Arbor Mist is on the bottom shelf, right?
Yeah, that's with Boone's Farm. And
Right.
Mad Dog 2020.
And Ripple.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know
God.
anything about
Manischewitz.
any
Oh
of
my
that.
gosh! If you've never had Manischewitz, don't. It's foul. I just those poor people. I don't understand how they can do.
Those poor Jewish people.
But, and it's like it's Passover. Like have something nice. No.
Oh, let's see. Have we managed to alienate every particular race and creed? No, probably not.
Probably not.
Try harder.
I'm trying to think. So I know Father Daryl is in Rome right now, and he's currently waiting for the Holy Father to show up at St. Paul outside the walls for Vespers, since today is the conversion of St. Paul, and so Father's been posting pictures to Facebook and to Twitter. So check it out. I think he's at Father Daryl on Twitter, and so go follow. He's really posting some neat stuff. And then I have another friend who's on a trip right now with Father Leo Patalinghug, and they're in the Holy Land, and oh my gosh, it looks like one of the coolest trips ever.
That I really want to go there. Gosh, I don't know how to do it. Oh, speaking of that, though, speaking of trips and things, did you hear that Pope Francis may be coming to the U.S. next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Yeah, for the World Congress of Families that's going to be in Philadelphia. So yeah.
Neat.
Terrific.
I guess he's gonna have to brush up on his English then.
Yeah. That city needs him, so let's bring it.
That's true.
When is that?
Forget.
Is it February, maybe?
Something like that.
Oh, like soon. He's thinking about.
2015.
No, next year.
No, next year.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only trip they said that he may sort of speculative trips that they're talking about this year is to go to South Korea, isn't it? Because they're going to canonize 150 martyrs or something, and he's going to be there for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
September.
That's exciting.
So Sarah, did you check out Father Darrell on how to contact us on his cell phone like you did?
Oh no.
Like
I know that he bought a SIM card over in Italy, and so he I think only has 2 megs of data. So I think if we had him on for 2 seconds, that would suck it dry.
They are going to be broadcasting that live on EWTN in a little bit, and I'm sure they'll rebroadcast it later on in the day. So it might be worth watching it this weekend and see if you can pick him out. I mean, he's not a tall guy, but you can kind of see hey, there he is.
So speaking of EWTN, did you guys see the Journey Home this past Monday night?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Somebody that many of us have met at the Catholic New Media Conference this past year, JonMarc Grodi, Marcus Grodi's son, took over for that episode, I think.
Yeah.
Really temporary.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He really did. It was funny. And for those of you who haven't watched it, it was interesting watching it in the beginning because you could tell he was a little bit what am I doing? But the nice thing is that he was interviewing Abby Johnson, who is a fairly well-known pro-life activist and also a convert, and she has obviously had to tell this story so many times that she's used to being on camera. She's used to kind of knowing how things go, and I think that he got more comfortable with her as they went along, and by the end it was like he's been doing it forever. So it was I was seriously, I texted him dude, I'm so proud of you.
I was waiting for one of the messages that they show, when the people send them emails during the show. I kept waiting for one.
Billy's email.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, he's a good guy. We need to have him on the show again soon because he and I are on the board of a foundation for this Franciscan friar that often hangs out in the chat room and watches the show, and we need to get him on to talk about what he's doing. So it's pretty cool work. But anyway, I was really proud to see him.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll have to have JonMarc back on the show sometime.
He needs to get his own show.
Yeah. It was funny, though. He kept, every 10, 15 minutes, he goes,
he kept saying,
I'm JonMarc Grodi, and I'm only taking over for,
for
Don't
this,
freak out.
Marcus will be back. Yeah,
exactly. like calming everybody down. Don't worry. Marcus is going to be back. It's going to be back.
It must be so weird to have to call your dad by his actual name. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would be weirded out by that.
Yeah.
I'm here for Marcus. It's like, oh,
right.
My dad.
I would have to say my dad.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm trying to get my parents' attention, when we're out, they're not paying attention to me. You try the mom,
yeah.
Mom doesn't answer. I'll be like, Becky! And then all of a sudden she's like, what? And I'm like, you weren't paying attention.
I don't know why this happened, but about 1 or 2 years ago, my youngest, my Natalie, 17-year-old, just started calling me Jeff.
Uh-oh.
And I'm thinking, what? But it's kind of cute. It's not out of disrespect. It's just kind of like, hey, Jeff. Anyway.
Does she still do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. When she talks to me.
Which is very rarely, I'm sure.
When she's here, I don't know. She's never here. She's so busy with it. In fact, right now, we should probably say a prayer. Well, it might be too late now. She is taking or was taking the SAT.
Big rite of passage there.
Yeah, and then she goes off to her dancing thing. She dances just about every day of the week. She's hardly ever here.
So does she dance for money?
Yeah, well, I'd rather not.
Sarah.
On the street corner? No, I didn't mean it like that. Oh my gosh, no, not like that.
Oh.
Yes, you should
Stop digging the hole, Sarah. Stop digging the hole.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed now. I was trying to.
No, she's not doing it for money.
Like at the local high school, she is it like ballet? What is it for?
You can't salvage
Can't
this.
give
No.
When I was in my head, you know what I was thinking about? I watched the TV show Nashville, and this week on the show, one of the characters has gotten herself into really bad PR place where she can't really leave the house, and people are being really mean to her. So she dressed up and went and just go to play the guitar and sing on the street corner. So just to have some fun. In my head, that's what I was thinking when I asked that question.
He's on the street corner dancing.
Hey, I saw a lady on the street corner doing that the other day. She had her dog, and she was flinging the dog around. Like, it was crazy.
No, she does. She dances. She goes to Blessed Trinity High School, and they have a really good dance program there. But the thing that she does, like every day, is a perimeter dance company. I think they call it the Big Perimeter Church. I think that's part of their thing. But it's not completely associated with the church, but it's just like they use their facilities, that kind of thing. So. Anyway, that's what she does. Ballet.
Oh, okay. Oh, ballet is beautiful. So beautiful.
Well, I'm not sure you dug yourself out of that one. We should probably switch the subject. So, is it time yet for us to do our picks of the week? Tom, did I mention that we're supposed to have a pick of the week? And it can be anything from an app, it can be a book, it can be a person, it can be an event, it can be a website, it can be so many things. It can be what?
Anything at all.
Yeah, anything at all. So we won't put you on the spot, Deacon Tom, because you didn't know that we have picks of the week, and so we'll start. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What we have to do first, of course, is this, and where is it? Here we go. I should have done one. The picks of the week. Sorry. Okay. Angela, why don't we start with you?
Okay, so my pick of the week is the Bible.
Oh my gosh.
For serious. No, okay. Before the show, of course, I did my, I talked about spiritual direction last week, and of course, my spiritual director has had me read the readings every day in the morning, just not doing anything, just read. And meditate, of course. So I read the readings for today, the conversion of St. Paul, and I was just like totally blown away because I put a little post on my Facebook about how we've been reading about the King Saul from the Old Testament, and how like he was out to kill David, the young David, and like that whole story, and how there are so many like parallels to today's first reading about the conversion of Saul, who was actually hunting out the followers of the Son of David, Jesus, and trying to kill them. And he had a conversion of heart, and so and there's just like so many parallels. So anyway, I was just like, you know what, the Bible is awesome. I love Scripture, and I'm just gonna make that my pick of the week. So go read the Bible.
Well, my pick of the week is the Catholic Church.
Cop out.
No, that's a good one. I mean, nobody can argue with that one, Angela. I think you trumped everybody. So who wants to go next?
Well, I guess I'll go because mine is a little bit on the heels of that, though I put it in the doc before Angela did. Huh?
Oh.
But my pick is the conversion of St. Paul. St. Paul is my very favoritist saint for lots and lots of reasons. But in college, I was a theology major and studied all of his writings, and so took lots of classes on St. Paul and absolutely just love him. And going to St. Paul outside the walls just a couple of weeks ago and spending time in front of his tomb, and just I've been to Greece and walked in his footsteps, and so just St. Paul is absolutely amazing. So just like Angela, go read all of his writings and also read about him, read supplemental books to learn more about the man and who he was, and really find a picture. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Caravaggio's Conversion of St. Paul, his painting is one of the most beautiful pieces of art that I have ever seen in my life, and that if I could look at one thing for the rest of my life, that would probably be it. But learn more about this man. I mean, he wrote, half of our Bible, so it's really important to get to know him and not just read the letters, but get to know the context around them. It really puts things into light and the reason why he said certain things in certain ways to the different communities that he wrote to.
Excellent. St. Paul conversion. Very cool. Okay. Tom Pringle, what do you have for us today?
All right. So throughout the week, each weekday, I focus on a different diocese for praying for vocations. And every time I post it on Facebook, Friar Matt Foley always comments and says, well, what about the conventual Franciscans? So today, I'm going to devote praying for vocations to the conventual Franciscans, and you can find out more about them at franciscans.org. So that's my pick of the week.
Cool. Excellent. Great pick.
I like that.
Next time you're in Baltimore, Jeff, you should look him up.
I should. Yes.
He is awesome.
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious. Him and Father Raymond Harris. I don't know if you talked to him on Twitter, but I went to dinner with the two of them a couple months ago, and I was laughing myself silly. They're hilarious. So,
I'll have to do that. Yeah. Baltimore's a great city.
Yes, it is. It's fun. Although Billy doesn't like it.
Billy, what do you think about Baltimore? Okay, we're gonna.
Not the same. I think of It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a wonderful city. Okay. Okay. Who would like to? Oh well, Billy, since you're talking, extolling the
virtues of Charm City or the lack thereof.
Charm City, yes, yeah. It is called Charm City, isn't it?
Yep. So this is my pick of the week. God's Bucket List by Teresa Tomeo, and I just want to read a brief passage from it. It's not a bucket list in the traditional sense. It's not like go to Rome, make a silent retreat. It's not one of those things. What Teresa's talking about is God has in the idea of God having a plan for you, and one of the things that you need to do to be able to figure out what that plan is frankly to shut up. And especially for those of us who do things with media, we like to talk, we like to tell stories, we're busy, we have noise going on all the time, and she talks about, this is just a little snippet from early in the book where she talks about how important it is to be quiet. She's quoting from a Catholic professor who was studying how Christianity was changing and how people were incorporating media into their lives. It's Professor Michael Zigarelli, and she says, Zigarelli suggests breaking the constant cycle of noise by reordering our thinking, including the way we think about who God is and how He wants us to live in our lives. Not only are the sheep too busy for God, so are their shepherds. In the Catholic Church, at least some of this busyness can be attributed to a shortage of priests and a lack of help at the local parish level. The study showed that by profession, pastors were the most likely to rush from task to task, and that about 65% of them felt that their busyness got in the way of their relationship with God. Professor Zigarelli's comments reminded me of a great quote from Blessed Pope John XXIII, which, for me, has turned into a prayer. Lord, this is your church, not mine. I am tired and going to bed. And exactly. So I think that's some good advice there. In other words, just be quiet, because he can't talk to you if you constantly have noise going on all the time. And anyway, so I'm about halfway through the book now. It's a great book. Go buy it. And in fact, if you start off on the sqpn.com website and you click through the Amazon link, then not only can you buy this book on Amazon as you normally would do, but SQPN gets a little bit of the proceeds as a thank you.
Absolutely they do, and thank you, Billy, for mentioning that. By the way, when is Groundhog Day? Is it
February
before?
2nd.
February 2nd. Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be.
Is that Super Bowl Sunday?
It is, yeah.
Oh man, I really hope that we actually have real Groundhog Day like the movie, because we get a Super Bowl how many times?
By the way, that's a great movie. I need to figure
I
out.
love that movie. Yeah.
Is that?
They're saying they might move Super Bowl Sunday to like Super Bowl Monday or Super Bowl Tuesday because of the weather.
Oh,
So
wow.
we'll see.
Oh really? I haven't heard
Yeah.
that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Trying to think how long it takes them to clear the field of snow. So they
Right.
have it down to 15 minutes.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna.
Who's in the Super Bowl? I don't
Oh,
particularly care.
Seahawks and
Broncos.
yes.
Oh, okay.
I
Go
think it
Peyton Manning. Omaha.
that was a rhetorical question by Billy.
No, it wasn't. I have absolutely no idea.
Anyway, I'll save this this little sound clip for next week because that's Puxatawny
Puxatawny Phil.
by Alan Marchand. But anyway, what made me think about it was Billy was talking about how you can support SQPN. I'll play this one instead. Okay, go ahead. Make fun of me and my music. Come on, Sarah.
No, I really want the jazzy one with the saxophone. Is that? I'm sorry, I have
That's
no
this
words.
one.
I'm gonna have
You
to
just
find.
have to wait.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
You
but
know
there's another one.
the airman
Right?
of note, right?
Well, here's one. I can hear the sax now.
That's
Yeah.
Maria, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Maria. Thank you, Maria, for joining us. But I think you're right. I think it was another one. I'll have to
Yeah.
find that.
If I heard it, I'd know it.
Anyway, so thanks, as Billy said, thank you for supporting SQPN by first, before you buy anything on Amazon. Go to the SQPN.com site, click on the Amazon.com banner, and we have the banner for the U.S. and other countries as well. And then you can select whatever it is you want to buy, and a small amount of the purchase will go to the StarQuest Production Network and help us with our efforts in the new evangelization. Also, if you're just hankering for starting up your own blog or website, or want to sell stuff online or whatever it is, and you need some web hosting, please consider using Bluehost, and you'll see that banner on the SQPN.com site as well. If you click on that and you sign up with Bluehost, I think hosting plans start at $6.99 per month, and sometimes they even have special deals that make it even lower than that. The StarQuest Production Network gets a very generous, what would you call it? Contribution.
Kickback.
Yeah, I was trying not to use that
Referral fee.
Kickback's a little rough, Angela. But essentially that's what it is, yes. So anyway, consider that if you're looking to start your own. In fact, that's what Father Roderick uses for his personal website. And
Me too.
Oh, you do too, Steve. And it's like
Yeah.
one click, you want to install WordPress,
WordPress.
something else, you just hit the button and voila, magic.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with WordPress or things like that, they make it very, very easy. And it seems to be pretty flawless. I've never had an outage that I've known about or any real problems.
Yeah, but nobody goes to your site, so how would you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Burn.
Oh,
that was
I'm
like
sorry.
too
I
far.
shouldn't be mean to Steve. He's not been he hasn't been mean to me on this show.
Nope.
I should be barbing Sarah.
That's
Okay.
true.
Let's see. Who have I? Oh, Deacon Tom. Well, we've given you lots of time. Oh, Steve. Here, we'll give you some more time, Deacon Tom. What is your pick of the week?
I think I want to give a shout out to my buddies at with the Capuchin Franciscans. I had a call this week from the rector of the school in Papua New Guinea where I taught for 9 months, and he was home on leave, and he was just wanting to check in with me before he went back to see how I was doing, and telling me about some of the new challenges that they're facing down there, and so I just have a lot of respect for what they do as missionaries in places like Papua New Guinea. So. Say a little prayer for the work of them and all missionaries, because I really respect what they do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve. Great pick. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll go next and give Deacon Tom the last say on the picks of the week. What I would like to do, my pick of the week is Daniel Smirkowski, Podman Dan. Everybody knows him as he started, well, first of all, he started the Special Chronicles podcast some time ago. In fact, he just celebrated his 100th episode anniversary. I think 5 years.
Dan.
Yeah, great effort on his part, and he actually incorporated Special Chronicles as a not-for-profit corporation not too long ago. So our prayers go out, and monetary contributions, if you can afford it, to Dan and his not-for-profit corporate empire, Special Chronicles. But the reason why I mention that, not only because he just celebrated his 100th episode, I would like to read some feedback that he sent to us at Catholic Weekend. And he says, "Hi, Catholic Weekend friends. Angela, your pick of the week this week or last week, Matt Maher's live album, All the People Said Amen. I agree with you in awesomely inspiring. When I was at the airport after the CNMC in 2012, I received a call from my dad that Matt Maher was going to be coming to our parish for a concert, one of the first stops on the tour where he started recording the live album. I got there early, and I got to see Matt as he was setting up. Also, I got to take tons of photographs right up below the stage while everyone else was seated. Here's a link to the article I wrote on CatholicMom.com with impressions for the concert. We'll have that in the show notes, including one of the up-close 103 photographs. Okay, he has another link there to Flickr.com photos. And also on one of our friend Lino Rulli's Catholic Guy podcasts, Matt was in Lino's hotel room at the NCYC for a really cool interview that many don't usually get to hear. So we'll have a link to that as well. So he says, have a great weekend. God bless Daniel Smirkowski, founder and podcast journalist, executive director, Special Chronicles, not-for-profit new media company. And again,
awesome.
All that stuff will be in the show notes. And he had some really powerful guests on his 100th episode. Tim Shriver, I think grandson of Mrs.
Sergeant Shriver.
Yeah, Sergeant Shriver that started the Special Olympics, right?
Yep.
So cool.
Yeah. So Dan's really going places with his effort. And so thank you, Dan, for the feedback. And if you want to send feedback to Catholic Weekend, you send it to at SQPN.com. Again, Catholic Weekend at SQPN.com. And don't ask me what the darn phone number is for the call-in line, because I always forget that. So it's in the show notes, right? Okay. So thank you. My pick of the week is Dan Smirkowski.
Yay.
So awesome. You win. Best pick of the week.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Bible? Come on.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So, Deacon Tom, are you still with us?
I'm still with you, and I was reflecting on a couple of things, and one was I thought might use St. Francis de Sales, since yesterday was his memorial. Did
you know he's the patron saint of shopping?
Of what?
Shopping?
Of shopping, I did not. I think it has to do with writers, but I didn't know about shopping.
No, it's a joke.
But his introduction to the devout life is so easy to read, as far as I'm concerned, compared to other, say, doctors of the church, which he is one. I'm drawn to him, and because one of the things that he writes is that you look to your station in life, and that's what you're called to be. If I'm a husband and father and a deacon, I'm not necessarily called to be somebody who hangs out at the monastery all the time. From time to time maybe, but not all the time. So I've got to stay focused on it. But that's actually not my pick of the week. It's something that I'm not sure how much media attention is going to get it. But Hobby Lobby announced that it might close its 500+ stores because of the mandates in the HHS mandates that would force them to pay for contraception in their medical insurance, and that was to me a huge announcement from their founder and CEO David Green, and I think it's important that we get that message out that Hobby Lobby 500 plus stores might go away because of an evil mandate from our federal government. That's huge, folks.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing, but that would be my pick of the week, because we've got to focus on fighting the evil. And what was it in the book that you'd mentioned from Teresa Tomeo's book, Engage in the Media?
Mm-hmm.
I think that a huge tip that you made, Billy. So that and so we've got to engage. We've got to engage in the culture, because in so many ways you could say we're losing the culture war. In other ways, we've lost the culture war, and we've got to start the war up again.
Yeah. Well, and I think
so. Even though that's kind of sad, Go ahead.
I'm not sure what that sound was, but go ahead, Tom. You're still talking.
Oops. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Billy, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I mean, there is some legal hope on the horizon for people who don't know. The Supreme Court decided yesterday that the Little Sisters of the Poor, the temporary stay that Justice Sotomayor had put in around Christmas time, is now going to be somewhat of an indefinite stay until the various appellate suits work their way out, and that was a unanimous decision with no dissents. So that means all 9 of the justices are obviously concerned. That doesn't necessarily mean that they'll win, but it does mean that the justices are very concerned about restriction on religious liberty issues, and they've actually produced a possible out for them as well, which you can go online and read the opinion. The opinion's only about a page long, so it's not that long. But it's interesting. I think the problem, of course, is going to be how does that extend beyond organizations that are clearly run by that are nonprofits run by a religious group, like the homes that the Little Sisters of the Poor run, versus a for-profit corporation by Hobby Lobby that happens to be run by Christians who have a shared full.
Exactly.
That distinction, I don't know, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on, particularly in light of the decision that just came down.
You're right. That is potentially very good news.
Yeah.
And in part, very very good for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, great pick of the week, Tom. You're right. We need to keep our eyes on that, and our prayers to the justices of our country to hopefully make the right decision, and hopefully Hobby Lobby will stick around, because I didn't realize that they had that many stores around the country. I know there's one right around the corner from where I live in Roswell. Okay, Tom, Deacon Tom, while we're talking to you, yes. Tell us a little bit about the blogs that you have, so we can kind of check that out and learn more about what you're writing about.
Yeah, I've only just started with a couple of things, and one is there are 2 things on that are on WordPress, and because I don't know what I'm doing. A buddy of mine suggested, really, in terms of I've got a story to tell, or a variety of stories or experiences to share. And but in terms of this, websites and blogs and all that, I just didn't know what I was doing. So a couple of friends of mine, one our mutual friend Jeff, Captain Jeff, as well as a good friend of mine, brother Deacon Mike Bickerstaff here in Atlanta, just suggested me, well, just go to some place like WordPress and start putting it up. And so I did. So I started one that I just call Deacon Dad, and it's reflections on a family man who happens to be a deacon, and it's on tomgottschall.wordpress.com. So it's not the easiest thing to find, but we a few followers and a bunch of my friends on Facebook are picking it up whenever I put something up there. And so I put things up a little bit about, the uniforms I wear. You know, might be a scout uniform, might be a clerical uniform, might be a suit if I'm doing some other business. Had something on that. I put up something not too long ago on. I'm looking forward to a father-daughter dance and what that means, and the image that portrays for my sons and my daughter, and it's just a variety of things. So Deacon Dad is kind of the handle that I've been working with, and I'm looking forward to telling a whole lot more stories and experiences. And then I've got another one that I've just started, which is on the Doctors of the Church, because I felt like I don't know enough about the 35 Doctors of the Church, just 35 in all of history. So I put up a thing from not every day, but daily prescriptions of the doctors, and I think of, if you go to the doctor, you go to the physician, you oftentimes you'll get a prescription. Well, we have our Doctors of the Church, and so I like to think of the various quotes and instructions that they give as prescriptions from our doctors. So it's kind of a cute little thing, and I'll put up a couple of phrases or a couple of sentences from the doctors. And so those are some of the things that I'm working on, and Jeff's helping me out a whole lot. So I'm looking forward to really getting in the game.
And you do need to learn more about those doctors. You didn't know that St. Francis de Sales was the patron saint of shoppers. So
no, but I'm taking notes. Let me tell you.
Sailors too.
No, I found that yesterday on Catholic memes. It's not real. It's just funny.
Well, anyway, thank you, Tom, for joining us. We'll have all those links so you don't have to figure out how to spell Gottschall in the show notes. And I don't know how to spell it because I learned a long time ago. So
I love them. I didn't get it right the first time, so sorry.
So we'll have you on again, Deacon Tom, when you are doing more in the new media world. And it was great having you join us on our panel today on Catholic Weekend. And
thanks, everybody.
Okay, let's see. Tom Pringle, how about telling us how we can learn more about you, read your writings, and follow you on Twitter and all that kind of stuff?
You can follow me on the Twitters at Thomas Pringle, or find me on my website, thomaspringle.com.
Okay. So that's all you want to say, huh?
Yeah. No,
right.
I'm actually working on a couple of projects, but we'll have more on those in a couple of weeks.
Ah, secret projects.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Thanks for joining us today, Tom. Angela, let's see. Anything inspiring you lately?
Yeah, actually I have a great quote from a mystic on my blog that I put up last night. Very insightful for those of you who might be dealing with some tough situations or difficulty forgiving someone or forgiving yourself. It's a great quote from Blessed Miriam of Jesus Crucified, and she was a Carmelite nun from Galilee, actually, and she has a really awesome story, but I posted a link to her story and also a great quote from her. So go check out my blog, which is inspiredangela.wordpress.com. And you can find me on Twitter at InspiredAngela.
Excellent. We'll do that. Thank you. Sarah Vabulous, the Catholic Drinky, where can we find out more stuff about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Catholic Drinky or on Facebook at Catholic Drinky or at CatholicDrinky.com.
I see the common thread.
Yes.
Catholic Drinky.
Instagram, Pinterest, all of those networks.
LinkedIn.
No, LinkedIn's personal, but if you do want to be my LinkedIn friend, Sarah Vabulous, come find me.
Sarah Vabulous. She's fabulous.
No.
Okay. Steve, tell us about your blog.
Yeah, you can check out my blog. Everything at stavon.com, or I actually have a new domain for it as well. You can go to scnelson.net.
Oh, your uncle?
No.
Oh, that's you.
No, it's all part of my master plan to get away from Gmail. So I'm setting up my own domain name.
Especially after yesterday.
Was that outage yesterday just the end of it for you?
No, I'm more concerned about all the insidious things they do with my data.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about just completely moving away from Gmail then, huh? And just your own hosted domain?
That's the plan, except I haven't quite worked out how to do it yet.
Interesting, because I have most email goes to my hosted domain name, but then I have it all forwarded to Gmail. So maybe I should consider stopping all that, huh?
Well, they're just more and more. They're taking that data, they're analyzing it, they're selling it, they're I don't know. I'd rather not be a part of that if I can help it.
Oh, well, that's my line of work, so I'm sticking with it.
I think it's pretty funny we're talking about this on a Google Hangout.
That is so true.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if all of a sudden this just kind of goes.
That's why QKK.
And we'd like to thank Google for giving us the opportunity to use this wonderful technology, Google Plus Hangouts. Thank you. Okay, Billy.
Sir.
WBD Newton.
Yes. .com and also on the.
Okay, excellent.
That's about it.
That's it. All right. Read his excellent posting about if you want to go a little bit more in depth on the God's bucket list theme. Is that your latest post?
It is.
Okay. There's the book right there, God's bucket list. Talking about brand recognition, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, I am the Catholic pilot. I do the Airline Pilot Guy show. You can check out airline. If you're interested at all in anything to do with airline aviation, that's the place to go. AirlinePilotGuy.com. All right. That's it, folks. Anything else we want to talk about or say before we end the show?
I'm the pilot.
I was wondering why you're giggling over there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's funny, sir. That never gets old, really.
Nope, never.
Never. Never.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. If we have anybody in the chat room or anybody watching live, thanks for watching us today. And remember, you can get this as an Audible downloadable podcast by finding us on iTunes, or you can head over to catholicweekend.sqpn.com, and all our shows are posted there along with our great show notes that are produced by and done by Lynn Francisco. Thank you, Lynn, for helping us produce the show. And all of you in the chat room, especially those regulars that are diehards that always come to join us every Saturday morning for this fun time amongst friends. So until next time, Super Bowl weekend, I guess, next episode. We'll see you there on Catholic Weekend. Take care and God bless.